You've been really working hard, haven't you? 51.
Yeah.
I can count.
Yeah, there's 50, I think there's 52.
Take off now.
Yeah, you can take that off, yeah.
Unless anybody else comes in.
Yeah.
That one I saw before is that you sold that to some pub or something.
That's right, that's why it's got that, that's why it's got that frame on it.
That's a lovely painting. I remember seeing that. Yeah. When we went in, we were going someplace, and Una was with us, and we went in and we had something to eat. Yeah.
Well, that's why it's got the bashed old frame on it.
Yeah, fair enough, I understand.
Well, I decided to leave it on.
These were done a while ago, am I right?
Yeah. 1997.
What?
97, yeah.
Loaves of bread. Do you know who's brilliant at loaves of bread? Connor Walton does loaves of bread.
Oh yeah, he does. He's brilliant.
He doesn't do them as large as that. This is the paintings about that size. That's very nice. Good texture, lovely tonalities, you know, and nice focus on things. Lovely tonalities. Yeah. That's perhaps, it's a bit too long. I mean, it's a bit long, baguette at one slice. But I think it doesn't, for me, it wouldn't have the same interest as that, or even that.
Well, you see, I'd say about that, what happened was
You got hungry.
it's exactly it. It wasn't working. I had it as one piece. And
you needed the...
Well, I was saying, okay, this is not working. I'd done a couple of drawings, and I had a canvas that size, and I was trying to make it work, and I thought, oh, I'll eat it then. And I thought, well, I'll cut off a slice and eat one end of it, and I cut the slice, and I was about to take the end off, and I went, no, that's actually good now, the way it is there.
Yeah.
So I was quite happy to...
Sometimes you have to be very careful about scale, you know? And I did a drawing recently, an interior drawing, and you know, it was a lovely contrast and things, and I made the drawing too big, and I got it finished, but I thought, well, okay, if I'm going to paint this, I'm going to have to make the painting smaller, and I got a photocopy of the original drawing. I've cut it down to size, but I haven't started with a smaller picture.
And it works small. It does work.
It works better, smaller. Yeah. Sometimes, you know, but I mean, this is beautifully painted. That's lovely. Cool. You see, you have a very sharp eye for true tonality and contrast, and that works great. You know, these are very fun things. I wouldn't be terribly interested in all of those things, just all of those there, you know. But, I prefer this one on the red. I think that's very interesting.
I wish I'd... I kind of, you know, it was done in 2006, that painting, and I wish I had been better at painting silk at the time.
Well...
You know, it's still silky looking, but I just think I would have brought that a notch further.
It's sometimes when you go into... I remember going into Tate Britain, and I came across a painting. I can't remember who painted it, but it was somebody with a silk dress, a portrait, you know?
Yeah.
And then I took a photograph of it, you know, because I thought, Jesus, you know, and these people, you'd probably never hear them again, you know?
Yeah.
Knockout brilliance, you know?
Absolutely.
Because they understood the contrast of tonal values so clearly, and they could mix those without making the paint dirty. That's the key.
Yes.
You know? I mean, this is great. That's great. You know, but who does these things very well? Cole Casey, for instance. He's really brilliant at that too.
Yeah, he is absolutely brilliant at it,
Yeah, that's lovely too. I mean, the space you've given it and not to put it central. You just the central mark just comes down on the right hand side of that. But it almost take the off, and then the same with that. You know, it's not easy to paint lemons or oranges, but it's so much easier to paint lemons than oranges.
It's absolutely true. Lemons are much easier than oranges. You won't see a lot of oranges here.
But I mean, oranges are so difficult. If you have a good light on an orange, and what's the colour of the sphere that turns away from the light? It's part of the orange, and you have to mix that, and you have to place it so well against what's behind it, and play around with it.
And you have to be so careful not to make the orange dirty, like if it goes too far. Like these these have their issues.
You haven't pushed that enough.
No,
the oranges.
No. But all I'd say is,
and I love that. That's really good. The two squashes. But I also that's very good. I mean, the way you painted that, you know, alizarin crimsons and the stalks.
Well, you'd be horrified, Carey, because they were each of them painted in a day.
Well, I'm not horrified. I'm just devastated that I can't bloody well do it in a day.
Well, it was a challenge, you know, but
I prefer the more natural things than these, maybe. That's perhaps the most interesting of the three that you've grouped there.
the pile of teacups.
You know. I prefer that to either of the other two. There's nothing but a paint. That's the big one. That's the painting of the. You had the reproduction now.
Yeah, and also the baby turnips back there is the other one.
Yes. But
Yes.
lovely. I mean, that's really gorgeous. Slightly understated the contrast of the yellows, but it works beautifully. It's very harmonious, and the sweep of the curve of the fold around that container is very nice.
Yeah, somebody was saying at the talk the other night that I always put something in that's kind of off. She particularly mentioned that fold, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not very realistic in a funny way.
No, but it actually gives a beautiful sense of rhythm, because the light is coming from the right across the bottom of that, so it picks up the two things. And then it's a nice thing between the tonality of that, which is bright, and that. And the fact of giving the little glint through the water, that's really nice. You're not afraid to set contrasts anyway, you know?
Well, it's very nice the way Anna hung the show in these groups, you know?
Oh, she hung it?
Yeah.
Herself?
Oh, she hung it. I left it to her. I wasn't. I left it completely to her. I mean, she also chose.
Using the contrasts, you know. You can use colour with great intensity of contrast and very rich. Not make a thing too tonal. This has to be more tonal, of course, the way it is, and it's quite loosely painted. But it's the drama of that as opposed to that, those darks and the highlights of those things that work there, you know.
Well, you'd be interested to know. You see this here? This is something I learned recently. That's that's green with pure red over it.
Is that really?
Like in a glaze, and it makes this really deep, intense thing. So I would have painted over some of these parts up here with the red from that in a glaze. Right. And you see how it makes it a red green that's really
just
deep?
at the edge anyway.
Yeah. So it just makes it much...
As opposed to, say, that, which is more greeny green.
Yeah. It's just much deeper when you put the red on over in a glaze, whereas these ones here are much more direct paintings.
Big leaf, the reflection in the teapot.
But you can see like how directly painted that teapot is.
Yeah, and then the lemons too are very directly painted. But you saw that the very soft, soft. It's not lemony.
Yeah.
But I think it works in terms of painting. It works very harmoniously. It's nice. Yeah. And then of course you playing around with the peaches and the cut peach, the reflection cut peach, and then the pattern on the glass of. Raspberry or strawberry or something. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is like it's like the one at the end. You know?
But, done around the same time, all right. I think with
a contrast of the light against the background here is stronger, I think, you know. Very nicely painted.
But you must be happy to think that technically these are all holding together.
Oh, yeah.
So because you told me the technique, you know.
I don't know. I sometimes think I can't remember that I taught anything.
Well, what you told me to get was Emma Pearce's book.
Emma Pearson's?
Yeah, painting, materials of painting, which, why, when and how.
Oh, really?
So it's a thin little book, much better than Meyer's book on technique, I have to say.
Really?
Well, she does it all in bullet points without any thing. I'm surprised you don't remember that. That's a Bible to me. I recommend that to people. She's on her second edition now, you know.
Well, that's great, isn't it?
But you can see they're going through. Yeah, but you can see they're going through the years of development. In other words, you know, it's not hard to see which is the earliest one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think you got I like that one there, man. I think that works really well.
Which one?
That one with the white.
The croissants.
The roll, the croissants.
Yeah.
And the honey and the silver jugs. That's very nice. Yeah. These ones are a bit earlier, aren't they?
Those ones, yeah.
Yeah. But you can see where you come from.
Well, that one is late. The pot is late.
Yeah.
Right.
More involved texturally.
Yeah, it's glazed. You know, there's just much more going on, and that's why the shadows are subtle. You know.
Yeah. These are the process, the learning process. You can see that.
Yeah. I have to say I like both of the custards though. For some reason, I have to say.
I like the custards.
I do, yeah. I like the custards. I particularly like the really fast, quick one up on the top.
That one?
Yeah, little one.
I just like it 2 hours.
Yeah, and that's why I like it. It's like just.
Yeah, I know.
The top of the tin is nice, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Fair enough. Yeah, that works very well. The glaze off those pears, the sort of slight illumination, it's very nicely balanced with the cheese and the highlight on that too. That works well.
I'm surprised you think that. You don't like my custard. So what?
Yeah, custard, those things.
Yeah, you don't?
No, I don't. I mean, they're okay. I realise that they're done earlier. You know, they're not. I mean, I think they could. My own feeling about it is that, you know, I mean, that might be true, that red, but I think there should have been more punchy intensity of colour in it rather than the neutrality of that red. That's what's striking me now, you know?
Yeah, that's absolutely. Yeah, I hear. I suppose what I like about them is they're kind of graphic.
Yeah.
You know, and they're not, and in fact that they're not nuanced.
Coloured drawings in oil paint.
Yes, that's a fair assessment. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful painting. Geez, that's very nice. And these too, but I prefer that one as well.
Look what I have here.
Hello, how are you?
Nice to see you.
I asked him to give me one final crit, so he's waded into me.
Final crit.
Yeah.
Great.
He has it all on camera.
Yeah.
For God's sake.
Hi, Ruth. Good to see you.